Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we are going to be setting up our budget for December along with our variable income spread. I have both of my sheets here. I will be using design 1, which is this pattern, along with design 2 for this month. So I'm really excited to see the end results of everything. I just love the holiday season, so I'm really excited to use both of them. I feel like they're so festive. But we already set up our monthly view together along with our dashboard together as well. I realized I never filled in the credit score, so I do have to collect that information to let you guys know. I know that for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because our mortgage got sold over to a different institution, but our credit score, both of them dropped for us. And it's not even just by a little bit. They dropped a lot, which kind of sucks. It's okay. It's gonna probably fluctuate. You guys might hear my baby in the background. So let's go ahead and set up both of these spreads. We'll do our December budget first as always. And then the planner that I'm using is an Erin Condren monthly planner. This is in the 7x9 design. And you guys probably know that I have a bit of an obsession towards press-on nails right now. I do just use the stickers in the kit, but okay. So let's go ahead and lay down December's budget. So for this month's budget, this is going to be the last budget of the quarter for 2023 before we start planning for 2024, which is crazy. I was thinking about doing it slightly different next year, but I actually do like setting up the quarter's budget with you guys and then trying our best to stick to that budget that we set for ourselves. Especially since our baby will be due in a few months. We just want to make sure that we're actually kind of buckling down just to make sure we're good with our budget. And then, okay, and then I'm gonna lay down my strip for the variable. What am I saying? I'm gonna lay down the strip for our income because I like to track how much our income is on the variable sheet, and then whatever that budget is, I do set up on the side since we are zero-based budgeters. So we have our general income. In our general, we've been budgeting for $5,000 for the month for this quarter. We do set up our quarterly budgets together, and I do have a video setting that up with you guys if you guys did not see it, but we have it set up per quarter for October, November, December. I just much prefer to do it quarterly. It's just been very nice for me to be able to look back on. But I'll talk about these more in those like quarterly videos, along with, since we'll be setting it up for the first quarter of 2024 soon as well. And then let me actually write extra in here. We normally never really have extra unless we like set it up for a specific reason, like maybe for tax insurances we'll have extra, or sometimes we get like unforeseen funds that we get and we want to add it to our budget for whatever reason. But it's just kind of a holder there. It's just kind of been there. I think I've only used this line once in the whole entire year, honestly, but we try to just stick to our budget that we give ourselves. So that is 5,000. And then we're going to go and move on to all of our different sections that we'd like to budget out as well. Let's see. And then I just want to put this little thin washi. But I hope that you guys are having a very good December month so far. It's definitely passing by so fast. I feel like I've been like a really heavy mouth breather because I'm getting pretty big. So if you guys hear me breathing like I just ran a marathon, I do apologize in advance. But okay, so we have our variable incomes. I do have it broken down where there's 4 sections for 2 variable, 2 fixed. The reason why I do that is because I like to have all of my bills broken down below, and then I like to separate out the other categories. The reason why I do that is because I feel like because we have so many bills, I like to just have them separated out. Since bills are kind of non-negotiable, we can't really budget less or not budget for something because these we have to pay for no matter. So I like to have all of the bills at the bottom for variable and fixed, so we know how much we need for the month to at least cover the bills. And then the rest of the section, this is kind of like our electronic cash envelopes. And then we have our miscellaneous other categories that are fixed, and I'll talk about them more when we're setting them up as well. But we have the same categories as we always do for like our daily expenses, our day-to-day, or our electronic cash envelopes. We have our first one, which is eating out. And these have not changed. I feel like these have not changed for years. I'm realizing I can't write and talk at the same time. Groceries is the next one. And that's actually right at the budget for them. So these are always like the same amount. Every so often they fluctuate slightly depending on the season and what is upcoming and our patterns. But eating out, we always budget for $300 for the month. Groceries is $400 for the month. Then we have gas. And also I realized I never really introduced ourselves, but we are a family of 5. It's me, my husband. We have a 14-month-old baby. We have 1 on the way, and then we also have 2 puppers. So that's what we're budgeting for. And then the next category for gas, for our car gas, we're going to budget $150. The holiday season, we tend to budget more since I feel like we do travel a lot more during this time. Next is allowance. This is $75 that we'll budget for. This is just for anything. Last but not least, the category we have is for our pups and our beans category. And this is $75 as well. That is all 5 of the categories that we always have every single month. These are the ones that work for us the most. I don't think this will change anytime soon, honestly. I feel like it'll always be these same categories. It's just what works really, especially since we have a lot of sinking funds as well. Next, we're going to do our section for our fixed expenses. This is kind of like the other expenses. This is where I like to put our sinking funds if we're going to be saving for Ally. I usually mention this is where I'd put if we were saving for investments or for like a baby saving account or something. Anything like that, Roth IRAs, things like that, I would put in this section because it's a fixed amount that I'm going to be putting in that account. For our budget, we're just going to do sinking funds. And then we're going to do for Ally because currently we've only been saving a bit per month since we are trying to focus more on paying down our student loans. But for sinking funds, we're going to budget $225 that we're going to put into our sinking funds categories. And we will have another video about that for sinking funds in the coming days or by next week. I don't know when this video is going up because I am trying to film the 2024 videos as well. So I'll probably be like mixing them in. But I'm going to go ahead and close this off. Because I only have like 2 categories over here, I tend to just skip a line sometimes. But that is what these look like so far. And then you definitely don't have to do it the way that I'm doing it. This is just how these work best for me. I know I've seen some of you guys like to separate out where it's like first paycheck up here, second paycheck at the bottom. Since it is 2 variable and fixed sections, or I've seen it where you guys separate it out by income per person by 2 people. But those are just some other ways to use these spreads so you guys know that like it can be customized to whatever works for you. This sheet only has 1 thin washi, so I am going to grab one from the variable income sheet since this one I don't really need the second washi. But I really do like having it in here to separate out the bills, which will be at the bottom. Now let's go ahead and put down our strips for our bills. For variable and fixed bills, we definitely do have quite a bit of bills. We currently live in our home, so we do have our mortgage along with all the lovely expenses. So these are just all the bills that we have for our situation. I know it's different for everybody, but this is just what we have for our family. I feel like I keep taking breaths in between like every single word. Okay, so for this quarter, we have for variable bills, we now know what our amount is, but I made it a variable because we weren't sure what it would be changed to since it was sold to another institution. But our first one is for mortgage. I accidentally got some stuff on my paper, but it's fine. So mortgage, we're estimating, or at least we were hoping for it to stay around $2,222, but that's no longer the case. It definitely went up, but we'll talk about that when that bill comes out. Next, we have utilities gas, and we are estimating for $100 that it will be. Then we have utilities electric. Utilities electric, we are budgeting $150 for the month. Then we have our mobile bill. Our mobile bill is $180. We'll be budgeting. Then we have our student loans for mine and student loans for my husband's. For my student loans, we're budgeting $175, and then for my husband's, we're budgeting $125. Last but not least, we have a holder category, and this holder category really is just to make the final number when we add it together an even or a whole amount. You guys will see what I mean by that when we add it all up together. It also suits another purpose as well. Like for last month, for November, we realized that our internet went up. So we budgeted $89.99 because that's what it's been for like years now, but it actually went up to like $117-ish. So that difference that we had, I ended up putting it in our holder amount, so I wouldn't be short by that, because of course since the bill ended up being more, I had to put the funds somewhere so we wouldn't miscalculate. But that's how that holder category can work sometimes too. Just in case some of our fixed amounts end up being more, I end up using that holder category to kind of calculate that difference. Since for variable we set an amount, we can write the actual. For fixed, it's supposed to be fixed, but every so often some of these bills end up going up because of the institution. The difference I put in the holder. Now next one that we have is going to be for a fixed, but I'm going to write how much the total is for this too. The total for all of our estimated amounts for these bills is going to be $2,965.16 after adding them all up. I just wanted to write on here so it'd be a little bit easier. But that is for all of our variable bills. Now to talk about our fixed bills. So for our fixed bills, the first one we have is internet. For internet, this amount is $89.99. Even though we know that this went up, I'm keeping it the same because this is what we have budgeted for this quarter. We're trying to stick to the budget we set for ourselves for these 3 months, which is another reason why I like to do it quarterly. So if there's any changes made when we have a fresh quarter, we can just refresh all the numbers need be. It just works out. If there's a discrepancy, especially if it's in the beginning of the year, it's not like we're stuck with that budget for the whole entire year. We can just refresh the numbers when a new quarter starts. That is why I'm keeping the same exact numbers, because this is the last month of the quarter and we're sticking to our budget. Next we have Netflix. Netflix is $10.59. Then we have Spotify. Spotify is $11.65. Then we have our HOA, and then last but not least is HBO. HOA is $80.66. HBO is $16.95. And then I also like to write which ones come out of credit card. This is important for us since we do try to have whatever payments we can have come out of credit card, so we can get some rewards back, cash back, and then help us like continue growing our credit score. I usually always mention this to you guys. If we could, we would have all of the bills hooked up to credit card, but unfortunately a lot of institutions charge a fee for that, so it's not worth it. Adding up all of the fixed amounts for all of our fixed bills, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5, the total is going to be $209.84. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and put this last little strip down. I'm putting it in the middle ever so slightly. Oops, realized I wasn't on camera for that portion. Oh, I realized I wasn't looking to, so I'm hoping that it stayed focused. Okay, good. But now just to show you guys, we know for the month that we need. So we added all of our estimated up. That is $2,965.16. That plus our added amount for all of our fixed bills is $209.84. That means we need $31.75 to cover all of our bills for the month of December. So it's easy for me to know, like straight off the bat, we just need $31.75 covers all the bills. So no matter what happens, if something happens and we need funds from elsewhere, we'll know that at least $31.75 will cover the bills that we need to pay. And then I also like to write that down here just for like a total, for the estimated total and the actual. So we have estimate, actual. Our estimate is $31.75. And then our actual we will calculate at the end of the month. But that is what our budget is looking like so far. And then I do have other bits that I'm just gonna kind of put around on here. The money bag I usually end up saving for our savings spread that we'll do together, so I'll probably just continue doing that. Okay, so I just put in the remaining lines that we have, but this is what it's looking like for our December budget. It's looking so cute and festive. Oh my gosh, I love it. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do our variable income. Variable income is just our spread to kind of log all of our income, because we are not salary, we are hourly paid. In the past, I would put every single penny in here, but because it's changed for us where both me and my husband kind of keep the residual for a certain amount, we kind of just like have a rounded amount in here, or a set amount that we transfer every single month. And then sometimes there's extra if there's overtime or something, that we put it in here. I don't know if we get like rewards or something, that we put it in here, things like that. But if you guys know, I also do keep my husband's income confidential, so I don't really share his whole amount. But that is what the variable income is for. It's definitely very helpful, or it was very helpful when we set it up for every single penny, but things definitely change. We might go back to that one day, but for right now, we're just gonna do it like this, as we usually do it. For this month, for December, we actually get 5 paychecks, which is really, really fun. So I'm really excited to see what we're going to do with that remaining paycheck. Honestly, we've been thinking about it and we're not really sure, because our baby will be born and it's a new year, so her deductible and everything that we've paid thus far is going to refresh. I'm thinking that we might put it on the side to just cover any medical bills that we might need to, just in case. So we have 5 paychecks. The expected amount I'm just going to put straight down for every single one, that we always at least transfer $250. Wait, I said what? $1,250 from every paycheck to cover our expenses together. So I'm just going to write that on there. And then I'm going to leave a couple of lines, because I just want to leave some lines just in case we get some like unexpected income. Like for example, our escrow accounts, when I was checking our mortgage history and escrow account, we realized that our last lender was charging us an extra amount for PMI per year for the last couple years. So we ended up calling to get that reimbursed. So they're going to send us a check for that. When that check comes in, I'll put it in here to let you guys know. Same with, one of you guys had asked me about like YouTube income. I don't receive YouTube income currently because I haven't met the threshold yet. In order to get your first paycheck, you have to make like $100. And whenever that is, that it finally comes in, or if I'm able to achieve that, I'll definitely let you guys know. I got monetized maybe, I think late summer, midsummer, sometime around that time. So it's definitely a long ways to go. So whenever it is that happens, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I think 3 lines is enough for this month. And I'm going to go ahead and put down some of these dots. I'm going to leave that red one. These dots, the purpose of these suit is just for me to kind of write down any monthly things I want to take note of that were kind of like highlights or key highlights for the month that was related to our budget. Like, I think, did we write anything last month, for example, that I could show you? Let's see. So last month, for cash rewards, we redeemed our cash rewards for $400, and we ended up putting it towards our sinking funds to help with the negative amounts. So that's kind of like an idea of what I would put towards it, especially if it has to do with our extra paychecks. So for example, if we end up using our extra paycheck this month, I'll probably put a note here as to where it went and what we did with it. But now that our variable income spread is done, that's actually gonna be it for this video. So we have both of these spreads set up now, and then we have our dashboard monthly. I'm really excited. I believe the next video we're going to do is gonna be our sinking funds. So I'm actually gonna jump to do that right after we're done filming this one. But thank you guys so much as always for tuning in. I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye.